Well, welcome back to another build series. The last one I had to put a hold on, which is the Battlestar Galactica, because I'm waiting for a stand to come in, and so until then, I'm working on this Moebius Chariot for a client of mine. Max, if you're watching, this is your build. This is your model. Let's take a look at the pieces right now. Okay, this is all the pieces to the Moebius Chariot. All but one. And that piece is this right here. I got one. These are in half, but they are curtains. These go on each door here, on these doors. And then these go right here. And so I'm missing one. I looked all through the bags, I couldn't find it. And yeah, it's kind of frustrating, but I think I can make it work. These things are on those sprue or trees. They're so loose. I mean, they're so loose, so it's not surprising if it fell off during the production. Maybe before inspection or after inspection, and just kind of fell on the floor and got lost or something. Because, like I said, these especially are attached loosely. It's just like flop, flop, flop. Some of them are even inside the bags, the shrink bags, once when you take them out. So, but it wasn't anywhere around here. I'm gonna look and see if I have an extra one. If I don't, I'm gonna have to figure out a way, possibly doing some plastic, doing some scratch building, and some puttying to make that work, which I think I can make that work. It's just a little frustrating, you know. Because, see, I've got photo-etch here that enables me to light all the consoles, especially the front. The front is what I'm shooting for mainly. So these photo-etch aftermarket parts from Paragraphics makes it possible to light these consoles with some work. You gotta do some work though. These are the 1/24 scale lost space Chariot painting masks from Aztec Dummy. I love his products, man. I use the masks for the 1/350 scale TOS Enterprise. Man, them things work nice for the windows and stuff. And so I got those for the canopy. And let me take them out and show them to you real quick. So he gives you two sets, one for the orange and one for the actual masking. And you may not see, but it's got lines. There you go. You can kind of see the lines in there. And you peel those and you stick them on here. And the orange is to go on the back side. Yeah, pretty cool stuff. And I've used them several times before, and they really, really fit nicely. So I may start a little bit with fixing this up. What I'm going to have to do is I'm just going to have to sand that completely down smooth and just start over. And yeah, and just start it over. So let's get started. Okay, I'm out here and I'm fixing to sand this down. And you can see this this square part is off. Don't worry about that. I had to cut that off so as I can sand all this down. I'll build it back up with some plastic. There's no worries with that. And so I'm going to sand this off, make it smooth, and also sand this down and make this completely smooth. I may not smooth it all the way down. I'm just going to kind of take off those buttons. And then this, later, I'll do some work on it so as I can put some blue lights in there, which I'm supposed to have, kind of make it look good in there. Okay, so be back in just a minute. Alright, I wanted to show you One side is smooth, the other side's still bumpy. And this kind of proves you don't need fancy tools to do this. I just use this sander right here. You can get this at Home Depot or Lowe's, pretty cheap. And voila! Perfectly smooth, ready for the consoles. Okay, I'm out here in my cutting shed and getting ready to put some paragraphics on these pieces. Alright, so I reckon I'm going to start with this. And this is the only way I really know how to do this, so if anybody knows of another way, please tell me, because I'm only doing what I think makes sense. But if there's an easier, better way, then I'm willing to hear it. So this is what I do. Put on this piece of wood. Make sure you have a sharp X-Acto blade to cut these. And you don't want no tags hanging out. See these tags? Little snippets. Snip. I don't snip them, I cut them with an X-Acto knife. A sharp X-Acto knife. So this is where the magic happens, right here. That's the magic. See, what I'm trying to do is with this marker, I'm trying just to kind of go over the holes, see the holes? And just color the holes like this. That way when and do each box, even those round things, and that way when I take this thing off, that will tell me exactly how much I need to take off where I won't go over and have a big gap mess. Because you got a little room. So you've got, I don't know how that is, but you got a little room right there on each end to make that work. So, and I just don't want to cut too much off, and I need to know. Okay, are you ready for the end result? Voila! And that will tell me exactly how much I need to cut off. And if my calculations are correct, I believe we might have ourselves a winner here. Okay, I've got this out here. I'm fixing to CA glue it. This is what I do. Clamp down the metal piece with these clamps, and then from the back side take some CA glue and just kind of drop it. No mess, no fuss. I like to get it right there in that corner right there. Okay, so if you haven't known until now, the Lost in Space Moebius Chariot, there's a lot of preparation to it, especially if you're going to light it. And so I may have to do 2 videos for the preparation on this one. Otherwise it'd be too long, and I don't want to bore you any more than I have to. So what I will do is probably do these pieces and I'll call it a day. Plus I've got to scratch build a crazy piece for this thing. So let's get to it. You got these little nubs on each one of these curtain halves that you just gotta pop off and throw away. And you got little things you gotta clean up a little bit too. Okay, so now my biggest dilemma and problem is this missing curtain half. See, I've got the other one here, but this other half is missing, so here's what I'm gonna have to do. Get some plastic that is pretty close to the same thickness. And I take something like this, a marker, and just kind of trace it out the best that I can. And so that's what I need right there. Take my scissors carefully, as I carefully can, just cut it out. And I hope that it will be close to what I need. Okay, so I'll CA glue this, and then once it's dry, I'll knock off the rough ends and edges, and then I'll tell you what I'll do next. I have the plate put on, and it's rough, so what I need to do is take a hobby knife and just kind of sand it down. Then we'll go to the next step. I think what I'm going to use is, you can get this stuff that there are poles, they're like tubes. Some of them are hollow, some of them aren't. And they're just like used for scratch building and buy evergreen scale models. And I use their stuff a whole lot as well. But I'm thinking that this may work. See, what I gotta do is recreate these ripples here, and it's not gonna be really easy, but I'm gonna do the best I can do to make it work. I think I'm gonna start down here and see what happens, and then just line them up, and I think that should closely create that ripple that I'm looking for. So, one by one, okay, it looks like a piece of junk right now, but once all that dries, I'm gonna get all that shaped right there and just shape it real good, and it'll look just like the other side. Okay, I believe that's gonna wrap it up for this episode of the Lost in Space 1/24 scale Chariot. It looks like I'm gonna have to do 2 preparation videos because there's a lot of preparation to this model. So the next episode will cover putting masks on the canopy, and also fixing up the B9 robot, and also continuing on the missing piece that I scratch built, and we'll shape that up on the next video and get some stuff going. So I believe that'll do it. So until then, stay safe, take care, and keep modeling.